Okay, so to grow lion's mane or lots of the gourmet and medicinal mushrooms, we need hardwood blocks. Right? They normally grow on trees or logs that have fallen. We're going to kind of simulate that with a hardwood block, about a 5-pound block. And to do that, kind of the main ingredient is these hardwood pellets. I often use these Bear Mountain ones. They're fairly cheap. It's about half the cost of the Traeger ones. So in my experience so far, it doesn't really matter. You just may want to make sure that it's 100% hardwood. And what we're going to do is we're going to take, I'm making 4 blocks, right? So for each block, I want 5 cups of pellets, and then I want about a 1 1/4 or 1.4 liters. And then tomorrow, after, we'll put some more stuff in there. We'll put some wheat bran. But for today, the really big task is I'm going to measure out 20 cups of pellets, and I'm going to put them. Let me put these guys down here. I'm going to do this in a tote. I like these Rubbermaid totes, these roughneck ones. They just seem to seal well, and you'll see why that's important in a minute. And they're just kind of sturdy. It's just, I've washed it out for the video, but to be honest, I don't normally wash it. This normally is full of like sawdust. I'm going to weigh 20 cups of pellets into here. Meanwhile, I'm going to boil. This is just about 6 quarts of water. It's supposed to be 5.6 liters. And I'm going to boil that and then pour that on there and let it sit overnight. So I'll probably speed all of this up, but I'm going to go ahead and get this on the stove and then put 20 cups, of pellets in here. And then that'll be it until the water boils, and we'll pour it in. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to start from here, because I keep them usually in this bucket with a little twist off lid. I've got some in here, and then I'll open a new bag. So let's do this. And honestly, I think the biggest challenge here is keeping track. So I'm going to be very careful about this. Okay, we need 20. Okay, that's 10, but I just wanted to show you kind of, but I'm filling it up a little over the top. This isn't super exact, but that's about what I'm doing. So here we go. Okay, so we have 20 cups of pellets in here. It's gonna take a little while for the water to heat up, but I'll see you when it's ready. Okay, so it's not much later. The water came to a light boil. Got the water here, I'm just gonna pour it in. I'm gonna take a little, just a wooden spoon or something. Come on, let's get this even. And then I'm just gonna put the lid on. I'll move this to another nicer place, but I'm gonna put that lid on and make sure it's fairly down there. And really what we're trying to do is just get the pellets really well hydrated so they'll come apart tomorrow and basically become sawdust for us. And so it's about 5 o'clock in the evening now. The timing doesn't really matter, but just let it sit overnight and I'll see you in the morning. Okay, so it's the next morning. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. And let's open this up. Get some water off the lid here. And okay, there you can see we've got, use this spoon here. This, what used to be pellets is now sawdust. That's exactly what we want. And what's basically the first thing I'm gonna do is just break up these pellets as much as I can. I'm kind of lucky I have this spoon that's got little sort of tongs. It's kind of a salad spoon, I guess, but works good for this. And just kind of mix this up really pretty well. I'm breaking it up. Stirring it. Okay, and then what we're gonna do next here, I'm gonna add, that's pretty good. Got 5 cups of wheat bran. I get this from my local feed store, so it's really not very expensive at all. And this is just some extra nutrients for the mushrooms, the mycelium to eat, I guess, consume while they grow. All right, and then mix this in really well. Get into the corners especially, and the edges, and I just try to get down to the bottom. And you know, ideally you want that wheat bran everywhere and not big clumps of it. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm sorry, that looks pretty good. Let's get it into some grow bags. Okay, so I've got the what's now sawdust. It basically used to be wood pellets, all nice and wet with the wheat bran mixed in. I've got some mushroom grow bags. There's different options for these. They make them in different sizes. These will make a 5-pound bag, and I've got 4 of them. And then I have, I like to reuse old yogurt containers for various things, and they make good scoops. So I'm just gonna scoop some of this in here, and let's see, 1 bag at a time. I won't make you watch all of this, I'll speed it up, but a few of these scoops, all I like to do is get it down in there. You're gonna see later on we're gonna clean up the sides, and the cleaner you keep it when you're doing this, the less cleanup you have later. So you can kind of do it either way, I guess. Clean up now, clean up later. About 4 of these. All right, and then what I'm gonna do, you can weigh these. Maybe I will. Scale. All right, so let's weigh 1 of these just to get a good, I know it's a little bit more than that, but I want to get 1 that's really close, and then we can always just sort of match that. Yeah, see, it's about 3.5. Needs maybe 1 more scoop. We'll see, maybe a little more. 4.5. Almost exactly 5. A little more. Perfect. Okay. It doesn't really matter. If you're a commercial grower or something, you probably care about really nice, consistent volume and stuff. You want a fairly consistent product, but I'm just growing this for myself, so if one's a little bigger, one's a little smaller, no big deal. But this gives me my sample, right? And we're gonna sort of, I don't even hardly need to clean this up. It's looking pretty good, but I'm gonna match 3 more bags, and then we'll wrap them up and we'll get them cooking. Okay, so I have pretty much evenly distributed all the substrate, and now, oops, I forgot. Pardon me. I'm gonna grab my. I just take. There's just a little bit of stuff in the top, right between here and the top, and just gonna go in with a paper towel. And you don't need to do much. Just kind of knock it off. It'll kind of dries out a little bit and falls. But you just want to get that out of there for a nice clean fold and closing the bag. Don't want anything growing where we don't want it to, and we don't want things we don't want to grow. So just going to clean this up. And you can see they're all pretty much even. I didn't weigh them all. I just weighed the first one. But pretty good. Okay. And then let me get some of these out of the way real quick here. We're gonna do these maybe one at a time. So there they are. This is about what they should look like to go into the pressure cooker. And you can see what I'm gonna do is I'll stack 2 of them like this, and then the other 2 will go kind of sideways, you know, the perpendicular on the top. So I'm gonna fill this with about 4 quarts of water, put those guys in there. I'm gonna pressure cook them at about 15 to 17 PSI. So I have a little quarter on the weight, gives me a little bit more pressure for 2.5 hours. I've already showed you that for other things, so I'm not gonna show you the whole process or try to teach you about pressure cookers. Be really careful. The one thing I will tell you if you're doing this is I will get a plate, like a dinner plate like this. So imagine these are the top 2 bags in the pressure cooker, and I'm gonna make sure this plate covers them really well. The big thing we don't want to have happen here is for that plastic to come up and start to cover these, like the safety valve, the pressure release valve. Then we might make a bomb, and that doesn't sound good. So we really just want to make substrate, not bombs. So that's the main tip I'll tell you. And yeah, really basically once those are done, I'm gonna let them cool overnight, and I'm gonna put them in a sterilized tote. Just gonna keep them somewhere where they're pretty much clean until we're ready to put the grain into them, okay? I'm not gonna film all of that, but I'm telling you all of that in case I don't film all of that. So we'll see. And okay, here we go. I'm gonna film it, but probably won't talk a lot here. Okay, I moved all the other bags over there for a minute so we could just look at one of these. And so you can also see, hopefully, got the pressure cooker out. We can fit 4 of these in the pressure cooker. That's one reason why I'm doing 4. I've also got a pretty high stand in there so I can get a lot of water underneath them. But what we gotta do is get them ready for the pressure cooker. And to do that, it really helps if you work from sort of the top and work these folds. And it takes a little bit to get the touch, I guess, of this, but you're kind of tucking it a bit as you go down, and then sort of fold it down. And this is what I want at the end. Ta-da! All right, I want the filter sort of on the side. I want it to be tucked under like that. And then I'm gonna fit 2 of those like this in the pressure cooker, and then 2 more sort of staggered on top of it. All right, so I'll just do those real quick. All right, it's about 5 o'clock in the evening now, so the pressure cooker is actually still warm. It's not cooled off all the way, but before it goes all the way and before I go to bed, I'm going to get the bags into this tote. I've cleaned this out. I even sprayed it with rubbing alcohol and wiped it out, but I've got more rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol in here, and I'm just gonna spray it down, kind of a mist it here, just kind of cover in there. And I'm also gonna put hand sanitizer on my hands, just making sure, don't want any germs in there. Just gonna give them a nice environment to sort of live in until we're ready to use them. Okay, so the lid is off. And I spilled water all over my floor. Oh well. And plate. Okay, and so one cool thing is these bags pretty much self-seal. They really are pretty sealed up at this point, and the filter patch is very small. I believe it's at 0.02 microns, so it's not gonna let a lot in there. Whoa, these are hot. Actually, let me get 2 down here. And then bottom 2. Let's do that. I'm gonna get a towel actually. I'm gonna dry it off on there. These bottom ones had water on the bottom. Okay. Once they're in there, get my spray bottle back again. Nice coating. So no germs are gonna live. Spray the lid of this again. This has also been wiped down. Seal that up. And now these are pretty much good until we need to, till the grain is ready and we put grain in there. They're just gonna sit in there and be nice. One kind of cool thing you can do is actually let them sit for a few weeks or whatever. If anything does start to grow in them, you know they're contaminated and something's wrong with your process. But they'll sit like that for a while and they'll hold all the moisture. And next time we'll see them is when we put the grain into the bags. We'll seal them up and get them ready to go to incubation. Okay, so first I'm putting on the gloves. Keep everything really clean. Take this watch off even. Everything here is all sprayed off. Impulse sealer is right there. Do a lot of some good hand sanitizer. Okay, so nose all around, and I'm wearing the mask. Okay, the first thing we do, I'm gonna loosen this guy. We need to break this up. Doing another break and shake, basically. You need this good and loose so that all the grains can go to different places and give us many, many inoculation points. Okay, that's pretty good. There. And now this guy, it's actually pretty well sealed from the pressure cooker. But there we go. All right. Get it's a little on the wet side there, but all right. And all we do, open it up. This. Actually, let's get this a little bit loose. Break this up. Get it ready for the grain. Okay, now we're ready. As quick as possible. Uh-oh. I lost a few. It's okay. Okay. Then we're going to do this. We're going to pull this guy down to here. Get those grains off of there. A little bit of hand sanitizer. Get the impulse sealer right here. Lay it. Come on. A little bit closer. Lay that on there. Pop it up. And I'll check it. I usually like to do two to make really sure. Not on the same spot, but in two different spots right next to each other. Okay. So that is now sealed across there. Well, for the most part. It's being a little weird, so I'm gonna do another one. By the way, I can easily take one of those grains and put it on agar and have more, but I don't need to do that right now. Okay, then do 3 nice. Those ought to keep it, right? And this guy goes back up. And then What I want to do is kind of, I like to push it in from the sides. I want all that grain to get down in there if we can. Get it all spread around. All right, you can see it's just mixing all in there really good. Okay, getting any little bits, little grain bits out of there. They won't really do too well up there. And then the final thing, I'm gonna smash this down, but let's take the sticker off of here. Put that onto here, and it continues. And I'll write right on here the date. So let's get this guy. All right, and that's pretty good for now. Just gonna get that going, and now we'll put that in incubation. Okay, we're back inside. I went and did the rest of the other 3 bags. Got them all here, and now they're going. I'm going to take them upstairs. I'll put them in my office. It's a fairly stable temperature, and basically they're just going to sit at room temperature now until these blocks are totally colonized. I'll show you as we go along and stuff, but it's going to be a while. It's going to be some weeks before these will be ready. Then we'll get them into the fruiting chamber. I'll show you all of that stuff as well, and get them to actually make us some lion's mane. Hopefully we get some nice big ones, but we'll see. But yeah, here we go. I've kind of, one thing I do at this point is I kind of shake them back and forth a little bit, just get them to settle as much as possible. Kind of want them to be a little bit tight, but the mycelium will tighten it all up. So yeah, I'm gonna take these upstairs, and we'll see you on the next step.
Okay, just a quick little update here. It's December 5th, so we're on day 4 here. One thing I can see, all the bags have a little bit of condensation right here. That's good. It means like there's activity going on. Mycelium's like breathing in there, basically. Starting to see a little bit of kind of wispiness here and growth. It's a little hard to see, but kind of in there. Still gonna be a while. The blocks are still really loose, but they'll tighten up. But yeah, day 4, we definitely have some activity. You can see back there, that one's got a little more condensation, and they breathe through this filter patch. That's one reason why I leave the bags up like that. Later on, we'll tuck it all down, but right now we want them to breathe, basically. So, and yeah, it's about 70 degrees in here, 72. So they're liking it.